small guns are, of course, the rage, but making a small gun reliable is a lot harder than you might think. Now, Rob, you've got some experience with taking big guns, full-size guns.
Cutting them down.
Yeah, what happens?
Well, they never work. That's the real problem.
That's it.
It's hard to make them reliable. When you start shortening spring lengths and the space you have to put springs in, you start with something that's designed to have 3 or 4 inches in that position. You can't just turn it to a ½ an inch unless you start with that.
All right, so the XDS 3.3, that's the original XDS. One of the thing that strikes me is that how thin it is. It feels so good in the hands. Again, you can't do that if you start with a fat gun.
No, you can't. You could take the grips off of some of the guns and they'd still be thicker than an XDS is. And the real trick there is the magazine. You build yourself a good magazine, a nice reliable magazine, you build the gun around that. But the real magic in the XDS 45 is in the metallurgy, because the barrel wall thickness is as small as it can be. It's really strong, but it can't be any smaller, okay? And if you took a gun designed, say, in 1911, well, they planned on wall thickness being much bigger, slide widths are much greater, so you could take a small frame,
There's only so much you can do to it.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. So you start with a clean slate right off the bat using modern manufacturing techniques and materials.
And this gun was designed around the 45.
Right, it was never.
It was a 45.
It was a 45 first. That was the trick. We wanted to make, and that's the hard version. The small 45 is the hard version. That was easy. Yeah, that was easy.
Okay, so one of the things you get out of this that I've had people tell me over and over again is, I took it to the range, I shot 500 rounds out of it. It just works. Right,
they work perfectly, and that's really the trick. And on top of that is the shootability quotient. You can't take away the fact that some of the guns, when you chop them down, become very, very difficult to actually shoot, to actually hold properly. How do you make a little gun comfortable? Well, you start with a clean slate.
And this one you can hold on to, it's accurate, it's controllable.
That's the catch right there.
And it, as you say, it just flat works.
Just works.
Rob, the XDS 3.3 is a perfect carry gun. I've been carrying it a lot lately.
Yeah, so have I.
One thing we're talking about is 9 versus 45. You know, there are a lot of arguments. There's recoil, there's power. Ultimately, a lot of self-defense encounters are going to be at close distances. And you said that you have a drill for me.
I do. Here's what we're going to do. From a ready position, you're going to come up with both hands. Target's nice and close. One shot with both hands. Get your support hand off it. Shoot 2 more shots with your strong hand. Then switch it to your weak hand and go ahead and empty the gun on it.
Okay.
Shall we give it a try?
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. That's a good drill.
It is a good drill.
And you know, it's interesting because transitioning the hands is something that a lot of people probably don't get to work on.
No, they never mess with it. They're always shooting in a comfortable position. Well, a lot of it, shootability of the gun, you're going to be able to tell more about it when you're not in a comfortable position. You're not shooting with the hands you want. But you know what? I want to try that one. This is the 9. I'm going to load it up for you. You got another mag for that thing?
Kind of see what the difference is.
Yep.
Here's a 45 for you.
There's your 9 hot and ready to go. Same thing. When you go, I go.
Okay, here we go. A little bit more controllable with this one, but not a big difference.
At these distances, I mean, the controllability difference between the guns is negligible. Everything's on the target.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everything would have worked.
All right, the XDS 3.3, great carry gun, 9 or 45. It's your choice.